Okay, welcome to Life Coaching Classes and Videos by Universal Recovery 360. I am Purnell, your host, and I wanted to do this class on good and evil. I wasn't sure where to start, so came up with this. I'm sorry, there's a conversation going on, and I don't know how close it is. Anyhow, good and evil. I wanted to start off with that topic, but I also wanted to kind of use image and likeness as well. So, did you know there is in Psalms, I think it's 81, where it says God sits in his place amongst the council and judges the other gods accordingly. In other words, by definition, council means that they meet regularly. So there's this regular meeting going on, right? Regularly scheduled, where God sits and tells the other gods, okay, you need to be more better at this. You need to tighten up on that. Everything's going great. Don't that sound like a board meeting? Just saying. Right? Likeness. Let me get back to good and evil. Right. You have this story where the devil, so the snake, says, oh, they just don't want you to eat that apple, because if you do, you will be like us. One of the gods, to know the difference between good and evil. Now, here's the thing about that. It didn't say you will be like them. You will be like the gods. It said you will be like us. And then mentioned the gods and the knowledge of good and evil. That is the easiest. That's like 1 plus 1. Come on now. Okay, so here's the thing about good and evil. Good and evil are extremes, just like happy and sad, or what else? Left and right, or push and pull. Opposites, extremes. Opposites in definition, extreme in nature, right? In order to be defined as good, you gotta know that there's nothing bad going on, right? In order to be defined as evil, it gotta be defined as having no good, right? So it's defined by its opposites. Anything that's defined by its opposites is dangerous because it forces you to search for balance, structure, rein it in, pull it back, whatever you want to call it. Which is why I choose to use the term do the right thing for the right reason. Sorry, I had to light my cigarette. Right? So, hey, he's a good guy. Nah, I just do the right thing for the right reason. He's a terrible guy. Nah, you just do the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. Right? This way you don't put titles on yourself. Most people that know me know that's all I'll say. Right? I won't take credit for nothing. I just say I do the next right thing for the right reason. That's it. Or I could be, ooh, he's a good guy, which means tomorrow he could be an evil guy. It fluctuates. Take it a day at a time, live in the day. Here's another image you should think about. You ever hear about people like Selassie or King David or King Solomon? Some of these royal people that when other people get around them, they just feel the presence of that person take over them and they bow to them with the respects of a servant, like gods. Like gods. So be willing to accept your image. Be willing to accept your likeness. Because you are in the image of someone. And you are in the likeness of someone. I'm not sure whether it's good or evil. For me, I don't judge like that. I just do the next right thing. But I recognize that we were made in the image and likeness. Right? You have to. Or you will not understand to stay away from good and evil. This is why the tree was forbidden. Don't get involved in that. Stay away from it, knucklehead. It's gonna mess you up. It's gonna put you on a different path, a different level. Ta-da. Now that might be a 17 times 11, multiplying 2 by 4 and then adding them together. That might be one of those equations where it just might take some time. You might have to write down or rewind it and kind of figure out what I just said, but it's okay. At least by the time you get it, you'll have it. Right? And never forget, you're human. I'm human as well. There's a third of me that's human. Which means I fall under the criteria of physical death, pains, mistakes, stupidity at times, ego for sure, selfish for sure, because I'm human, right? Then I'm thought as well. It's another part of me. Powerful, creative, stubbornly aggressive when self-educating, knowledgeable and understanding. Knowing how to understand is just important as understanding. Reading between the lines, gifted, blessed with the ability to see. Now, I have the gift of sight. I'm not sure what your gift is, but I'm sure you have one. It might even be the gift of sight as well. You might be looking at me and going, yeah, he's telling the truth. Or you might be looking at me and going, yeah, he's full of crap. Don't matter to me. I was blessed with the gift of sight. And it has nothing to do with these eyes, per se. Because it is an accumulation of ego, which means it's this as well as what I remember. So, in that gift of sight, right, there's some things a person can see. And that is dominoes. I'm going to use dominoes, for example. Right? So it's just dominoes, right, lined up all up the street, right? And they started falling. but each domino represented a day in your life, right? But for me, they're just dominoes, right? So they start falling up the street. By the time they get to me, it's almost like 20 years, let's say, because of the amount of dominoes, of course, right? I've seen the whole thing, right? Not only have I seen the whole thing, but because I see the path of dominoes, I can see the rest of them that you haven't done yet, which is the future, right? And I can see it fall. I can see if one's out of place. I can see if it's going to end before it's supposed to, because I can see the dominoes, right? I have to get the sight. Problem with the gift of sight is it's invested in everything I see, not just what I want to happen. Everything I see takes possession of my skill set. Like that car that just drove by, part of my skill set. Just observed it, acknowledged its color, speed, who was in it. Human messing with thought. This is why spiritual is so important. Because the human and thought tend to do that a lot. For most people, it looks like they're being aggressive against each other, or the mind and the body are always fighting, but the truth is they're trying to agree. And if that's the case for me, and it's not happening, it's because I won't allow them to agree. I need them to agree. I know they should agree. It's just that the way they see things are so different sometimes. It's hard to align them. It's the same thing. It's just hard to align because it's like looking at the sky from here. Say I was on the North Pole, right? And then looking at the sky from the South Pole. Same shit, but completely different. So that's why it's so hard for people to get along. That's why we came up with these opposites, because we consider them to be opposites. One's doing one thing, this is doing another thing. Sometimes they don't agree, which causes hurt, anger, and things like that. Sometimes one gets emotional and the other one doesn't, which causes hatred. Sometimes one gets hurt and the other one doesn't, which causes feelings and emotions. Depending on which one is being activated or targeted, because some people know how to push your buttons and target it. Now you know what that means too. So depending on which one is being targeted, you should know which one is being utilized, especially if it's not you utilizing it. Because if I push your button, that means I'm turning your ass on and I'm about to utilize it. Understand? So it's very important to know yourself. Everybody might have the gift of sight. Come to think about it, I don't know. To some degree, I'm sure everybody does. It's just that I have the gift of sight when it comes to this everyday human nature, people thing. Like, I can see it. The system has created a way to take what you see and destroy your ability to give it or help somebody else with it, because you need to do it their way. This is why people can't get help unless they seek it outside normal resources, what they call outside normal resources. The truth is, that's not how life is meant to be. Not meant to be run by governments. They're not meant to tell you how you should live. To live and let live. That don't happen. And if you don't know that everything they do pushes a button on you by now, I'm gonna have to pray for you. because you should know that everything they do pushes a button for you. When you get a letter from the government, I don't even care which section it is, they push a button. You get a letter says they giving you something, they push a button, because people just don't trust them unless they want to be them. It's like the IRS. You don't think they know how to push buttons? Remember that man in Oklahoma signed his name on the birth certificate, but then when he took the DNA test, he wasn't the father. The courts made him continue to pay child support, then locked him up for not paying it, and was going to lock him up again if he didn't start paying it, because his name was on that paper, even though they had proof it wasn't his. There's something wrong about that. Nobody should be controlling that. But because we allow it, it happens. The reason we allow it is because we're too busy fucking with this other shit they got going on to even attempt to want to change it. Too busy fixing shit to want to change something. It's like having a boat with holes in it. Every time you plug one up, two more come in. You're so busy trying to fix it, you can't get shit done. You're lucky if you're getting anywhere. That's the way it's designed. That's why you don't get anything done. You be a billionaire, still feel like you're not getting anything done. You can be poor and be happy as hell. Because you understand something. You can see realities. That's the thing about the gift of sight. It's not only about seeing the future, it's about seeing happiness, it's about seeing love, it's about seeing evil, it's about seeing good, it's about knowing not to get too close to it, knowing to stay as close to it as possible, knowing how to move around it, as well as what I see, knowing how to keep myself a certain distance from it. We absorb energy from everywhere on our bodies. Eyes might be the windows to the soul, but we absorb energy everywhere. The truth is, I can feel people looking at me, you can feel people looking at you. You can be multiple places at multiple times. Thought process, physically, mentally, and spiritually, at least 3. And if you give those three, you're going to learn this shit one day. You give those three, and then those three. It's incredible how many you can be. Yeah, don't get caught up in good and evil. Do the next right thing. I'm telling you, don't get caught up in right and wrong. Do the next right thing. You ain't got to prove nothing if you do the next right thing. You got to prove nothing to nobody. Make sure you do it for the right reason. I keep reminding myself to add that part because I've seen wicked people learn how to do the right thing for certain results. Right? They do the right thing because it's going to benefit them. That's not the right thing. So you need to do the right thing for the right reason. Yes. And you won't get caught up in happy, sad, upset, worry, stress. You'll feel it, but you won't get caught up in it. There's a difference, right? You'll know it's there, but you'll continue to live your life. Otherwise, you would know it's there and it'll be in your life. It will be your life sometimes. You'll be at work all stressed out, tired up, don't have no idea why. No idea why. Do the next right thing for the right reason, and within an hour and a half, you will not feel like that anymore. It's guaranteed. It's pure happiness. Guaranteed. You might have all kind of shit going on in your life that most people be stressed out over, and you just be happy because you understand. things will get done when things need to be done because you will do the right thing for the right reasons. After this many years, all the time. Right? You ever heard a person say, even when they wrong, they right? Sometime you need to check that out. Sometime you need to check that out. See, most people want to take it like you can't be at two places at one time, but you got here and here. Boop, there's a pop up. You got here and here. That's just real. Two places at one time. Kills that. Let me go. I just heard a message. I got a pop up of a message. I don't usually get messages at this time of the night. And I always tell people if it's important, text me or call me. Right? Don't expect me to feel you wanting me to reach out. Come and get a brother because the brother be in his relaxing mode. Y'all be good to each other. Stay doing the right thing for the right reasons. I love you, and I'll see you soon. I promise I will. Oh, and I'm gonna give you some of that spoken word eventually, and some of them old rhyme 20 years ago.